they grind out the results.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a draw, maybe it's a 1-0 win,
1-0,
but
yeah.
it's never absolutely
Comfortable.
convincing.
Yeah.
But like every team that's playing on the continent, I mean, people speak about how Liverpool had Anfield back when they were struggling. That's how they managed to win Champions Leagues and get to Champions League finals. You talk about your Borussia Dortmund, who are the same, Manchester United.
Yeah.
As long as they have to come to you in a second leg,
Yes.
then it changes the whole demographic of the game.
You are tuned into the Diski preview show as we continue with the conversation. This time around, we are going to take a look at the CAF Champions League quarterfinal second leg that will be pitting Mamelodi Sundowns. The Brazilians, they'll be playing against Young Africans. And this time around, the game is going to take place in Pretoria. Mr. Mo, what a game we have on our hands.
Mr. Yao, I just want to start by saying...
Are you going to apologize?
No,
Yeah.
No, I just have to start by saying, Uti, first of all, yes, I must apologize.
Yeah.
Because these are the runaway champions at the moment.
Yeah. Sundowns.
No, not Sundowns. Young Africans.
Oh, Young Africans.
20 games played in the league, 52 points on the board,
Yeah.
1 draw, 2 losses in their own domestic league.
Yeah.
They're sitting 2 positions above Simba,
Yeah.
which we all know.
Yeah.
They played Al Ahly and lost that game in the CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll start by saying that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Mr. E,
Yeah.
I understand it was a very sore point because
Yeah.
maybe the people who are watching this felt that you guys didn't actually
Maybe
go
a little bit
acquaint
biased.
yourself.
Yeah.
Acquaint
with
yourself
with Young Africans
before you started the conversation.
I think I actually saw that in the comment section,
Yes,
whereby they thought
yes.
maybe we didn't profile Young Africans
so
enough.
For the viewers who are watching, Young Africans, if you look at them at the moment, top of the league. Same thing with Mamelodi Sundowns, top of the league, and that's what you need to be if you're going to be playing in the CAF Champions League. You have to be a champion. It's a Champions League for a reason.
Yeah.
And
you
now
gotta be a big champion.
And now this is where they've been an impressive side in the CAF Champions League. They have had big results.
Yeah.
The only loss that they suffered before, they only lost 2 games in the CAF Champions League before they played Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
One of those losses was against Belouizdad, which is another giant of African football. And they lost that game by 3-0. But otherwise, they had 5-1 results. They had draws with Al Ahly. They also lost to Al Ahly 1-0, and they managed to beat the same Belouizdad 4-0 in the reverse fixture. So this is a team that means business. But not only that, it's a team that scores goals, because even if you look at domestically, the amount of goals that they've scored 49 goals, only conceding 11.
Yeah.
And what I say about balance, it means that you can score, but you can also defend. But what I was saying in the previous video, which people maybe took wrong, I said that you need to understand that the only losses that Mamelodi Sundowns has suffered have been away from South Africa.
Yeah.
And yes, Orlando Pirates fans, we know that you guys beat them.
Now you're bringing in Amapakania to the conversation.
We have to mention them, otherwise yes. But there was only 2 teams who have beaten Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa, who are South African.
Yeah.
One was TS Galaxy in the curling knockout.
Yeah, but that was the second team more.
Yes,
the stats still count anyway.
Yes, the stats still count.
Yeah.
The other team to have done it is none other than Orlando Pirates. They beat them on penalties in the MTN 8 final. So those are the 2 games you have to say. That's the game when we got really introduced to Munapule Sele.
Yeah.
Because he was all over the media.
He was on fire.
Yes. So those are the only 2 times they've lost domestically. Now, away from South Africa, they have lost to TP Mazembe by 1-0. That was in the group stages of the CAF Champions League. And then also, obviously, they lost away in the African Football League when they lost out to the finalist Wydad Casablanca. They were lost in the first leg 2-1 away from Pretoria. They came to Pretoria, they won the goal by 2-0. The game by 2-0. So what I was saying is that there's something about Mamelodi Sundowns in travel. That it just doesn't go right. You know, they get
away.
They grind out the results. Maybe it's a draw, maybe it's a 1-0 win, but it's never absolutely convincing. But like every team that's playing on the continent, I mean, people speak about how Liverpool had Anfield back when they were struggling. That's how they managed to win Champions Leagues and get to Champions League finals. You talk about your Borussia Dortmund, who are the same, Manchester United. As long as they have to come to you in a second leg, then it changes the whole demographic of the game.
Because I can imagine the sea of yellow and blue in I think they're going to play in Atteridgeville.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's going to be filled to capacity. capacity.
It's a big game.
Yeah.
And one thing about Mamelodi Sundowns fans, and Utisha was mentioning the fact that all you need is a shirt to go in.
Yeah.
Do you understand how much noise those guys make?
Hey,
Do you understand how much passion is in the stadium?
But on the other hand, I think in the last game when they played young Africans, that stadium was full.
Yes.
That was intimidating for the Mamelodi Sundowns players.
But that's the thing. That's the beauty of African football. I mean, every time I've watched Mamelodi Sundowns travel in Africa, I've always been scared for those players.
Yeah.
Because you go to Egypt and you see red flares in the crowd.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, if you play against Al Ahly in Egypt, it's red.
It's so intimidating.
You don't even see yellow in the stands. You're like, hey,
yeah, what's going on?
Are we going to come back with this win? It's a scary thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's the beauty of the Champions League. I mean, if you're really a champion, you'll come back with a result from there.
And by the way, I think I noticed that there is a Mamelodi Sundowns supporters branch in Tanzania, which is a very good thing. I think the brand of Mamelodi Sundowns is growing on the African continent.
It's growing on the African continent. But it's the same with all these big clubs. I mean, Kaizer Chiefs also has the same thing. Orlando Pirates has the same thing. Al Ahly has the same thing, even in South Africa. And you'll be amazed. River Plate, who are all the way out there in South America, they also have the same thing here. They have fan clubs in South Africa.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the CAF Champions League at the moment.
Yeah.
First legs have been played, right? 4 of them, right? Draw between Esperance Tunis.
Yeah.
Draw for TP Mazembe.
Yeah.
Draw for Young Africans.
Yeah.
And then Simba lose out to Al Ahly. So Al Ahly will feel like they have one leg.
Yeah, into the semi-finals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the rest of them still have all the business to do.
Yeah, it's still
so
open.
Now, Young Africans has 2 choices.
Yeah.
They are a team that can score goals. They're champions themselves. They know exactly what is needed to walk away with the result.
Yeah.
They will think to themselves, look, these are one of the head honchos when it comes to African football.
Yeah.
We knock these guys out, we probably only have to worry about an Ahly for that moment.
Yeah.
Or maybe Esperance Tunis, you know what I mean?
If they could
but
progress,
at the same time,
yeah.
Do they go all out and risk it?
Do
you come to Pretoria and say, you know what, when we get there, chance, no matter what happens, we risk it. Or do you go into that game and say, listen, we play a tight game and let's let it go to penalties and let's see it from there. But you've seen what our goalkeeper can do from the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
So you don't want it
even in this game against Young Africans, I think I saw Rowan Williams there. I think 2 or 3 times here to bail Mamelodi Sundowns, because I must admit the Young African strikers up front, they are so fast and quick and strong on the ball. I think there was one time where there was a 1-on-1, but Rowan Williams managed to stop that attack.
Yeah, but how long are we going to rely on individual brilliance? This game is another example of possession versus counter-attacking football. 70% ball possession to Mamelodi Sundowns, 30% to Young Africans. But look at what Young Africans was able to do. They were able to find 7 shots at goal, 4 of them were on target. Do you realize that only of the 7 they've taken?
Yeah, only 4. But they played better because
that's incredible.
Mamelodi Sundowns, on the other hand, they had 10 shots on target and only 2. Sorry, they turned 10 shots and only 2 shots on target. 2 in the entire 90 minutes. So that's an average of 1 shot in 45 minutes.
Exactly.
Was that the plan of Mokoena to try and frustrate them in the middle of the park? Because that middle of the park, I can tell you, it was so packed. There were no spaces for Mamelodi Sundowns to try and get the ball to the front runners, the likes of Fushalilule and so on.
You know what's one of the benefits of counter-attacking football?
Yeah.
It's almost like gambling.
Yeah.
So you're going to run at them, right? When you get to the goal, you're still running.
Yeah.
So you don't have time to slow it down,
quickly
put the ball where you want it to go. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So when you get there, you just boom
into the penalty box.
So basically, you're not placing it, you're not seeing where it's going.
Yeah.
That's why you'll see players after all that pace, when they shoot, they also go.
Yeah.
Because they're not sure if they're going to hit that target.
Yeah.
But if you look at build-up play, if you look at games where the team is building it up, like the way Sundowns is doing at the moment,
take it to the left,
by
to
the
the
time
right.
the shot is taken,
the
player knows it's a goal.
Yeah.
Because he's already seen the sight of goal.
Yeah.
And he's taking the shot.
That space there.
Exactly.
I can take a shot.
Because he's had the time to look up.
Yeah.
Place the shot,
yes.
He knows it's in.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Two shots on goal.
Yeah.
If I'm the coach of Young Africans, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Because number one, these guys were able to keep the ball away from us for 70% of the time. Number two, they had 10 opportunities.
Yeah.
We had only 7.
Yeah.
So yes, our productivity was better. We had 4 shots on target out of 7.
Yeah.
They had 10 shots at our goal.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? They're building up effectively. That's if you put it into time basis, that's about an opportunity every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes, yeah.
So now you have to worry yourself and say, okay, do I number one, who do I mark in that team? And we talked about it.
Who do I stop?
We talked about it the last time. We said if you deal with player Mokoena playing deep, you're preventing that ball from getting to an Allende.
Yeah.
But if you deal with an Allende, it might just be too late.
It might be too late because it's already in transit to the goal.
Exactly. So with Young Africans, you have to give them the respect they deserve. And even in the CAF Champions League, they're the second best attack or the joint best attack.
Yeah.
And they are up there with Simba. They've both scored about 9 goals each this season in the CAF Champions League. Maybe something is brewing in that league.
Something very
something
good.
is cooking.
It's cooking.
Maybe Sundowns is also like, we must buy some players from here.
Yeah, we must get some players. Obviously, the scouts are watching. So the other interesting statistic here that we have here from young Africans, they had 7 offsides. So what type of tactical approach do you think
that's
the
running
coach
football.
had?
That's running football. So as soon as you know how they always talk about side effects.
Yeah.
Offsides are a side effect of running football.
Yeah.
You get your opponent to play a high line.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't get them to play a high line.
Yeah.
But you are playing long balls, right? So your striker has to start moving before the player who's going to make the pass makes the pass.
Yeah.
So if you have a player who's smart, he runs between the centre backs and then curves his run out.
Yeah.
That allows him to stay onside long enough for you to connect the pass. So that's just an example of counter-attacking football. We get the ball quickly, we look up. Now Mutsepo Tepo.
It is
you understand? We are far.
Yeah.
For Sundowns, that's not going to be the stat.
Yeah.
Because for Sundowns, even if
I can see they only had one offside.
Exactly. If Sundowns gets the ball in a counter-attacking situation, they'll run.
Yeah.
But they'll probably run until 1, 2, 3 touch. Then they'll stop. You know one thing that people don't actually notice about Pretoria football? Is that
It's a
Pitor, they love 3 touch.
Yeah.
They love 3 touch. They love 3 touch. It's very rare to see teams from Epitori play more than 3 touch. And that's why Sundowns it's so easy for them to take players from Super Sport. Because they know what these guys badly 3 touch. And then a lot of people come here, badly 4 touch, 5 touch. No.
Yeah.
You must realize when the first touch comes in, what do these players always do? They're looking for a pass.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's why it's so easy for them to go get a Mokwena. Yeah. That's why it was so easy for them to, because all these guys, when they go to training, all they do every day is play 3 touch. It's rondos and 3 touch.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why Sundowns can hold on to possession for so long.
Yeah.
Because those players, even if you're coming with some funky pressure,
but
first touch, second touch pass.
It's gone.
First touch, third touch pass. You know what I mean?
So you'll be chasing the ball the whole afternoon.
And he's not going to try and pass it there.
Yeah.
He's giving it to someone here. He's giving it to someone here. He's giving it to someone here.
In
so that's why they recycle the ball so much.
Yeah, in those pockets or triangles, so to speak.
So that stat of offside is telling you one thing about this game in particular.
Yeah.
Is that Mamelodi Sundowns, because they have so much possession of the ball, they build up slow.
Yeah.
But what that means is that in that build up, the centre backs are involved. Yeah. So the centre backs are going up.
Everyone moves up.
Everybody's going up.
Yeah.
They lose the ball.
Yeah.
The striker's like, I'm making a run. Yeah. This guy makes the pass from wherever he was.
Yeah. And then they start backpedaling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's offside. We start again. Understand? We build up. Someone gets the ball, striker starts making the run, they make the pass, offside. So if they continue with that stat, if they continue with that tactic, it might work if there's an onside situation, but it's not guaranteed. I just wanted to end this by saying also that if you look at on the continent, when you look at the best defenses, it's amazing that Lawauda has not conceded a goal in the CAF Champions League.
That's a big flex.
Not even one. Luckily has conceded one. Mamelodi Sundowns has conceded one. Which tells you that on the continent, what matters most of the time is what you keep out, not what you put in. So if you keep the balls out of the back of the net, you won't have to be scoring goals to stay in the competition.
Yeah, you might go further.
You're looking at that stat. Luckily, African champions on multiple occasions. Mamelodi Sundowns were recently African champions. Those it's telling you that these guys have seen that on the continent. You just need to keep the clean sheet, and you'll get a goal or two. I mean, at this moment in time, luckily might just go home and pack the bus.
Yeah, that's it.
And I know. And Simba, who has the best attack in the CAF Champions League, can't do anything about it.
Yeah, might not be able to get a goal from
You understand? They've scored 9 goals the whole campaign. But where it matters most,
they can't score.
You can't score.
Yeah.
Because these guys know that to win this competition, it's all about what you keep out and not about what you put in.
Most certainly. Now let's quickly get into the thick of things with regards to that game there. Mo, it's your head on the block. I know you're going to gain a lot of enemies and friends on this one. Can you quickly give us a prediction of the game between Mamelodi Sundowns and Young Africans? They affectionately known.
I just want to remind everyone that Young Africans has conceded 6 goals in this competition and scored 9. So they're not going to outscore Mamelodi Sundowns. But one day I will say that Mamelodi Sundowns will know that this opponent is dangerous. and they'll try to play a cagey game,
Yeah.
and they'll dominate possession,
Yeah.
and they'll walk away with the win, and they'll go to the next round.
Okay.
Young Africans, I feel, will be back again next season.
Yeah.
Will be a headache again next season if they don't lose those players to some of the giants we just mentioned right now.
Yeah, to the Young African fans, do you agree with Umo? You're saying Young Africans will be knocked out by Mamelodi Sundowns in Pretoria. Let's see what you have to say about that in the comment section. He's all yours. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the Diski Preview Show, and signing out is yours truly, Mr. E.